Hi, and welcome to Dare to Be Authentic podcast. I'm your host, Mari Mitchell. I'm so happy to be with you again today. I have a very special guest. Her name is Valerie Holden. She's an intuitive coach, certified transpersonal hypnotherapist, and the creator of Bossy Woo Method. I just love the name. She helps women reduce stress, reconnect with their soul's purpose, and step confidently into the life they were meant to live. She has over 20 years' experience, including a former career as a police officer. Welcome to the show, Valerie. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Mari. Thank you for allowing me to talk with you.
It
I'm
kind
excited.
yeah, me too. It kind of blows me away that you were a police officer. Wow, that's pretty impressive. And now you do this. So let's tell us a little bit about what inspired you to do what you currently do and to create Bossy Woo.
When I was a police officer, I was probably in about 3 years, and I started going to the gym because it's a stressful job. And I started taking yoga classes just sort of to stretch, a little bit of exercise, but also to de-stress. And I noticed the Shavasana, the very end where you just get to relax. It was almost like a spiritual ritual for me. And it got me interested in alternative healing methods. And I learned Reiki and massage therapy and a lot of alternative things, which actually affected me at my job. I would show up in a scene and people would say that the everything just calmed down when I got there. And so it
Wow.
was very interesting. But also at the same time, I loved doing those things, but I also loved my police job. But there was something inside me that it was like a little piece of me was missing, like I should be doing something else.
Hmm.
And that was one of the reasons why I kept taking all these classes, searching and searching. And I found a woman who, well, she wrote a book called The Passion Test, Janet and Chris Atwood. And I actually took their certification and I realized that's what I was searching for. I was searching for my purpose. I was searching for the passion, which is our God-given gifts that we're supposed to be fulfilling when we're here.
Right.
And I realized I'm not the only one in this situation. There's got to be other people out there that feel that they need to be doing something, but they don't know what it is or
Mhm.
how to do it. And so that's why I started helping people find their passion. And what was interesting was when I retired, I did start my hypnosis business. And people would come to me for one of the types of hypnosis I was doing, quantum healing,
Right.
and they would want to know what their life purpose was. And at that time, a session was just one time. And so they would figure out, they'd get some answers, but it's like, then what? And so that's again why I created this, because to give people support, because you
Mhm.
might have some answers, but a lot of times there's family members or friends that's like, really, why are you doing that? Why don't you just stay where you are? Why go do something different? Or other people think it's crazy to leave a good job or do some other things. And so I can be their support. I can be a guide to help them first help them discover what their passion is, what their purpose is. And then let's get you on a path. And then when blocks come up, when fears come up, there's somebody here to support them. Because a lot of times, as I said, they don't have that support.
Right.
So I'm here to help that.
That's so fantastic. So why do you
Okay.
call your program Bossy Woo?
um, It was sort of started as a joke, but my jobs that I've had, one of my first jobs was as a UPS driver,
Wow.
and so at that time it was just clipboards, no computers, and you stick the clipboard in somebody's face, and it's like sign here before you run back to the truck.
Right.
And then I was a flight attendant, which is sort of bossy, sit down, put your seatbelt on, and so as a police officer telling people what to do. And I thought, as I'm working with people, sometimes we need guidance. I've had coaches before where it's like, well, what do you think? It's almost like going to therapy. It's like
Hmm.
if I'm hiring somebody to help me with something, I want to get some answers from them. So the bossy part is I get to tell people what to do sometimes. But then the woo is adding that spiritual connection,
Yeah.
tapping into intuition. And I'm here to have that space where I can love them up when they need to. So I've got the kick in the butt when they need it, a little push. And then when they're really stuck and need some more compassion, that's that too. So it's the combination of both.
That's great because it's a good balance. Sometimes we need to be pushed or kicked in the butt, and other times we just need that compassion and that love. That's
Mhm.
wonderful. I love that.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you're most passionate about.
What lights me up is when I'm helping somebody and I see that they get it, or I see this is where they were and this is where they are now. It actually just fills me. It makes me feel good that, okay, I was able to help them. And that's actually fulfilling my purpose is helping them. It
Mhm.
just, it's like I glow when that happens. It's
Yeah.
almost like I don't have kids of my own, but it's almost like my little kids when you see them taking their first step or, achieving something. It's like
Yes.
I'm their proud parent.
That's so exciting. I do
Mm.
coaching as well, so I know exactly how you feel. It's just so exciting to see someone turn their life around sometimes, completely turn their life around. That's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what do you think is the main message you want to bring to the public today?
I would like people to know that you are here for a purpose. When you came upon this earth, whatever your beliefs are about how we got here, God, the universe, spirit, put things inside us that is our purpose. And you're not alone. There's people here to help you. And if you're looking for your purpose, start paying attention to what are those things that get you excited? What are the things that you lose track of time because you love doing it?
Mm.
The things that you forget to eat, you don't bother answering the phone because you're so engrossed. Those are clues to what your purpose is. And so start listening to that. And if you're not sure and you need help, reach out to somebody. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, but it could be somebody not even related, but somebody that has some experience and can help you. You can achieve that. And you just need not guidance, a group. Find people of similar minds or people that can help you. So you've got that little community. You're not alone.
That's great. So good to know you're not alone because at point in my life I did feel like I was alone, but then you find that other people are feeling the same thing as you are and going through the same difficulties, and it's wonderful to have that support. Yeah, awesome.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, what role does authenticity play in all this for you?
I I need to be authentic. Things that I'm teaching are the things that I'm actually doing myself. I think it's very important because if I wasn't doing it myself, people could see through you.
Mhm.
And knowing that I do it, I've been through the same thing, looking for my passion. I do the same things if I'm teaching somebody a meditation or some kind of affirmations. It's things that I do myself. Um, if I wasn't doing it, people would feel that and they wouldn't be able to trust me. They wouldn't feel good about doing the work that I'm teaching them. It's like, well, if you're not doing it, why should I? Type
Yes,
thing. So I've been there. I know what they're going through and I can help them. And I've done it this way. So, you can too. And then I'm here to support you.
very good. I love that. Would you share with us a client that you helped and the transformation that they experienced because you were guiding them and helping them and maybe kicking them in the butt a bit?
Well, one of my clients, when he came to me, I do work mainly with women, but I do have a few wonderful men that I work with. So he came to me and he was burnt out, stressed out. The relationship with his wife and his kids were horrible because he was working three different jobs just to support his family.
Wow.
And he was one of them that came to me wanting to know what his purpose was. And we figured out he wanted to be a counselor. He ended up becoming a high school counselor. He loves his job. The kids love him. That's what fulfills him. And now he only has one job.
Wow,
He's
that's
able to spend time with his wife, with his kids. So those relationships have got better. And so just figuring out that one thing of what his purpose was and going after that just changed his whole life,
that's
changed everything.
fantastic, Valerie. What a beautiful story. So as you talk about that, the question that comes to mind is what's one of the difficulties, or maybe more than one difficulty that people have as they're trying to find their purpose, as you're guiding them? What is a little bit of a roadblock for them?
Well, sometimes there's fears that come up. Many times, well, okay, I'm gonna say let's start with blocks. A lot of times when we're kids, there's things that our parents tell us, you need to be a teacher or you need to be a doctor because it's something in the family.
Mhm.
Well, we might not be programmed for that. That might not be our purpose. Yet that little voice in the back of our head, down in our subconscious, every time we try and step out of, I don't want to be this, that stops us because your family might look at you because you're a bad person, or and you might not even consciously realize that, but it's our subconscious that can be stopping us.
Yeah.
So just things that we've heard ever since childhood could be a block. Um, Again, the fear could be you're going to be outcast from your family if you don't follow in the family footsteps.
Hmm.
Even society, just commercials and things tell us what we should be or should do. And when we try and step out of that, that can stop us. It's a block or it's a fear that happens. And so that's why it's so important to be in a community of people that are supporting you or having that guide that can help you through that. Because that's one thing that I do is once we figure out what the purpose is and we set the path, now as they start going, even just starting with little baby steps,
Hmm.
all of a sudden those fears and blocks come up and it's almost like the universe is you decided you want to do this. Well, guess what? I'm going to throw all this crap in your path because now figure out how you're going to do it. And that's when, yes, there's ways to go over that wall or that block, around, through. Somehow we figure it out. But that's why it's important to have that support.
Yeah.
Again, whether it's a coach, a guide, community, but they're the support just to help with that. But those things do come up. But then once you get through that and you achieve your purpose, it's not over because now you've achieved that. And now there's a new one. Let's figure out what the next path is. Because
Yes.
otherwise we just get stagnant and stuck. And I don't want to sit around sitting in front of my TV watching it for the rest of my life. No, there's more out there. Lots of things to do. Let's figure out what the next thing is. Keep
Absolutely. I
going.
love that. Thanks so much. So one thing that I one of my clients experienced is people will do a lot of higher education. And so they have all these degrees, I have an MBA, I have this, I have that. And she would say to me, because she was looking for a purpose, and she'd say to me, but I have all these, all these certifications, all of this knowledge, all this education. I feel like I'm throwing it away if I change courses. Do you ever come across that?
I did that myself. I don't have the higher degree. Yeah, so I went to college and I had, 6 extra months because I was going to be a teacher because that's what my mom wanted me to do.
Yeah.
But I still kept taking courses. So I went to massage school for a year. All of my Reiki and all my alternative healing methods and all those things, my sound baths, I keep taking more certifications. And what's funny is I had an Akashic record reading, and the gentleman told me, "You don't need to take any more courses." He goes, "You already know enough to do what you want to do." But yet, what did I do? I kept taking more courses.
Of course.
It's that little voice. We need more. We need more. And so finally, it's just stop. I have enough. And it's also when I'm working with them, I don't need to throw everything I know at somebody. There might be just one thing that I know really well, and that may be all I need to teach them.
Yes.
So it's not like throwing the whole toy box at everybody, or what they say it's like, throwing up on somebody. I don't need to do all of that. Just the one thing that they need is all they need. And heck, if I would have stopped with something, I could have been an expert, who knows, in whatever.
Right.
But now what I like is having all those things that I did adds to my toolbox of
Yes.
now that I have somebody I'm working with, they might need this or they might need this because not everybody reacts the same way to the same thing. Somebody might need some chakra balancing. We'll do that with my bowls. Somebody might need a hypnosis technique. Somebody might need, emotional freedom technique, the tapping or whatever. Maybe working with some crystals or oracle cards.
Hmm.
So that's my way of saying, yeah, I need this. But no, okay, telling everybody else, no, find something that you love. You can stick with one thing. It's okay. You don't have to have 10 things.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
There's
good.
a lot of us and I'm one of these, like, oh, there's a butterfly. What happens is, and sometimes, and this is, I want everybody to know this is not necessarily a bad thing. You might find something that's interesting to you, and you start to take a class or a course, and then you stop. You may not even finish and take the test. Well, I do that sometimes. I get what I need out of that, and that's all I need. I don't need to necessarily take a test to get a paper that says I'm certified. I have the knowledge that I need, and now I'm on to the next thing.
Yes.
And it's okay. Get what you need out of it and then move on.
Yes, that's very good. And everything that we learn, I mean, it can even be like an administrator, a computer. I learned how to do back end of a website. I learned all these things through the years thinking, why am I doing this? And then all of a sudden you have your own business and you're like, oh, now I know how to do this. So everything we learn, even if we're not in that field, uh, adds to our life, adds to, like you say, your toy box of things that you can use for yourself or to help others. So that's really
Yeah.
good. I love that. So tell us some of the main ways that you help others.
Well, I do the coaching. I call it the Bossy Woo Method. And that is helping get clarity, so clarity on their purpose, and then trusting their intuition. We're going to figure out what their intuition is because there's five different ways we receive messages from the universe. So which is the way that they receive the best? So they can open up and start receiving the messages because that's the clue to their purpose. And once we know that, then we're going to start taking the baby steps, take bold action. And it
Mhm.
doesn't have to be anything huge. So just the bold action. And so that is the coaching. And then again, as we run into blocks, deal with those. Um, but then in addition to that, I also do healing modalities. So the sound baths or individual sound healing, chakra balancing, Reiki, all of those things. So a little bit of everything. And I do have an office where I can see people in person, but most everything that I'm doing can be done online,
Mhm.
virtually. Doesn't have to be even Reiki and sound baths and things like that. It can just go over the airwaves through the sound waves, the frequency. Somebody doesn't have to be present. And many times it's actually better that way,
Ah,
especially like with hypnosis or sound baths. Somebody's already at home relaxing themselves. And when they get relaxed and into that healing modality, now they don't have to drive home. So no traffic. And
oh wow.
now
That's really cool.
if
I
there's,
didn't know that.
yeah, if
Yeah.
there's kids or something, a lot of distractions, it's best to get them out of the house. In fact, I had a gentleman one time who sat out in his truck for a session. So leave the kids in the house. It's quiet in my
Yes.
truck.
Yes. I have a client who does her sessions from her car always. And she has two kids, so I
That
know
is
that's
fun.
why. That's really cool. Very good. So, I love that you do all these things, that you offer all these things. And what I love the most, Valerie, is how passionate you are about that. And I can see it
Oh,
from
thanks.
your eyes and the way your face just lights up when you talk about it. So that's really beautiful. Did you ever see yourself when you were a police officer or when you were a UPS delivery person? Did you ever see yourself doing something like this?
Not, well, a little bit, yes and no, not at the beginning. I think at one point I thought I would want to be a life coach. And so I did some training, but that was like 10 or 15 years ago. So when I actually started a business, it was more the hypnosis.
Right.
But yeah, but it's sort of fun. One thing I like is giving tips. Like I'll do little videos on Facebook or haven't put them on my website yet. I need to do that. But yeah, Instagram and Facebook, just little tips about things, which is sort of fun. Because when I was little, whole story. I remember my mom used to take us to swim school. Instead of kindergarten, we went to swim school where we learned swimming and gymnastics and how to play the piano. And
Oh.
our teacher was Swedish. And so we learned how to speak Swedish, which I don't know any about now. But on the way there, she'd have the radio in the car, and I would be in the back seat pretending I was singing. Like I wanted to be a performer. So now, actually, I sort of am and just doing little performances on video. So my first dream came true.
That's awesome. I
But,
love that.
but
You can put your
yeah,
tips on TikTok. That's where everybody is now, by the way. Yeah, little
I
tips.
I have now have a TikTok account. I think maybe I put one or two things on there. I have to get familiar with that one, but it looks like a lot of fun.
Yes.
I have to. I guess I need to do some dancing or something.
Maybe a dancing tip. I watch a girl. I have to say this. I watch a girl on TikTok who actually gives her tips while riding a bicycle. She's in another foreign
Um,
country and she doesn't even look at the camera. I don't know where she has the camera set up, but she's telling you these life things and she's riding this bicycle all through her beautiful town. It's like the cutest thing.
oh wow.
Yeah, so there's all different ways of doing these tips. So going back to the receiving inspiration from the universe, tuning in. You said there were five ways to receive. Would you share those with us, the different ways?
Sure. Yeah. One of them is seeing. So somebody that can easily visualize if you're trying to think, trying to work out a problem or something, and you have a picture in your mind, that would be one way. And so you might be driving down the street and all of a sudden see a billboard and the words on there answer a question. So
Hmm.
that's seeing.
Okay.
And then hearing, same thing. You turn on the radio in the car, and all of a sudden, whatever the lyrics are answers a question. You all of a sudden notice that because you have a finely tuned ear. You might be very musical. Or even sometimes you might even like hear a little whisper in your head that's guiding you towards something good, or it's guiding you like, don't do that, protecting you.
Right.
Then there's just feeling. You might have a gut sensation. All of a sudden you get chills.
Hmm.
When I first started doing the spiritual work, it was like an angel was standing behind me or something, and then just wrapping her arms around me, like angel wings were just rubbing my arms really lightly. And then the more I did the work, I started getting more chills and tingles. And even now I have like chills on my tingles on my legs. So I know when I've really hit something good, it's, tingle all over my body. And then another one is things just pop into your head. You know things and
Hmm.
you have no clue why you know
Yeah.
them. And I noticed sometimes in sessions with my clients, things come out of my mouth. I have no idea where it came from, but
Right.
it's what they needed to hear. Wasn't anything I studied, but it was perfect
Mhm.
for the
Mhm.
situation.
Yeah.
And then the last one is dreaming. And so if you have vivid dreams or you remember your dreams or your dreams come true, then
Hmm.
that would be your main way. And there's usually one main way, but we can have more than one. So you
Okay.
just need to start paying attention, and there's ways to develop each skill. And if somebody just has one way and someone else has more than one, it's not having more than one way to receive messages is not better.
Right.
Then it's just different. It's like we're all different, and this is how this person is, and this is how this person is. So you just need to pay attention to what's your way and develop that so you know. And then you need to trust it. I mean, that's your connection to the divine, the
Yes.
universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it. And you need to listen. And
Hmm.
sometimes the messages don't always make sense. It might be guiding you away from something you think you should be doing. Um, a lot of times that's our way. If there's something better over here, if all of a sudden there is a block, we may need to go in another direction, and something better can be over there. We want to bulldoze through, but sometimes we just need to take another path.
Yes. Yes. So true, Valerie. I love that. Very good. I love that. This is fantastic. And so, how does a person begin, someone who's not really paying attention yet and knowing that, hey, I can receive messages? What do you think is the first step to begin to get ready for that?
Just start paying attention. Maybe just sit quietly and, put out into the universe whatever your question is for the universe, whether it's I need help with this or I have a question about this. And then just start noticing different things. How do you receive that message? It will come to you. It may not be immediate, but when all of a sudden you start getting that idea in your head, or you do notice that billboard, because once you put it out in the universe and you start paying attention, it's one of those things like, I got a little Volkswagen Bug. It was light blue. Nobody had that color blue of Volkswagen Bug, my very first car. Until I had that color blue. Everybody had those colors.
Right.
So it's like once you put it in your mind, it's your reticular activating system. Once you put it in your mind and you put it on your, all of a sudden you start noticing those things. So when you put it out there, it's like, okay, something as simple as what kind of new car should I get? You might start all of a sudden seeing little Nissans or little Toyotas everywhere. And that's just a really simple thing. But yeah, pay attention to what you're noticing and how it comes up for you.
Beautiful. Thank you
And
so
there's bigger things. Getting a car. What kind of car should I get next? Is like just a simple question. There's so many more life questions.
Yes, of course. Very good. So, is there one last thing you'd like to say to a listener? Something that's really deeply on your heart today?
Similar to what I said earlier, yes, you're not alone. You do have a purpose here. So find the support that you need so you can help, so you can fulfill your purpose, whether it's a community of other like-minded people, whether it's somebody like me or somebody else that can help guide you and answer questions for you. but you are here for a purpose, a divinely given purpose. It's already in your soul. We just have to find it and help you get on that path. And many times, most times, our purpose is somehow helping other people,
Hmm.
however it is that we do that.
Yeah.
Just need to get started. And you only need to take little baby steps.
I love that. Baby steps are so important because things can become overwhelming. And sometimes when you're reading or even reading a book, it seems, at least for me, it seems overwhelming to, how am I going to get all this done? But when you say little steps, I say that too with my clients, so funny. When you say little steps, all of a sudden a person can feel, oh, I could take a little step. So, very good. We have a few more minutes if there's something else that you want to throw out there.
Hmm. Oh, if they want to reach out to me, my email is valerie@valerieholden.com, and I can send them a missing to mission map. Actually, I should have it. Hang on, what can I check something really quick?
Absolutely. And you can send me
Let
the link
me,
too, so I'll put it in here on the podcast. Yeah,
okay, perfect. It's a missing to mission map, and it's just a couple of questions where get they can help get clear on their uh they can help figure it out. It is tinyurl.com and then slash missing hyphen to hyphen mission hyphen map. So tinyurl.com missing hyphen to hyphen mission hyphen map. And also on my website, there's a button if somebody actually wants to talk to me in person. It's a missing to mission session where we're going to figure out where they are right now, what's missing in their life, and where they want to go and how they can get there. And it's just a complimentary 20 to 30-minute call where we can figure out what's going on and maybe help them get little ideas of their next step.
very nice. I like that.
And
And
oh, my website is valerieholden.com.
okay, perfect. And all this will be here. Just look down on the links down, and all the links will be there for you, so you can easily find Valerie. Fantastic. Well, Valerie, it's been such a pleasure having you on the show. You've just done such a beautiful job of finding your own path, your own purpose. And that's why you're so qualified to help others because there's nothing, once we experience something and we live through it, right? We get through it, um, we say, hey, I can do it. If I could do it, you certainly can do it. And that, I love that about you. And I love that you've also sprinkled all what you call the woo-woo stuff, the Reiki, the sound baths, all that kind of stuff. It's just fantastic, the hypnosis. So thanks so much for being on the show today. And thanks for listening in. You can find all of Valerie's links below if you scroll down. And make sure you spread this. Tell other people. If you really love the podcast, tell other people out and spread it around. And thank you for listening to Dare to Be Authentic podcast. Bye for now.